Hello everybody, this is A Stocky here. Welcome to a mod spotlight. This is a 1.3.2 mod and it is a Forge mod, so you need the recommended build to Forge. I will put both of the download links that you need for this mod in the description and also how to install them. But I guess I better explain what mod it is. It's called the Usefulfood mod. It's version 1.1 and it's made by silentspy, and basically what it seeks to do is it seeks to add some really awesome new food recipes to kind of spice up the variety of Minecraft a little bit. I guess vanilla Minecraft has its foods, you know, it's got its apples and its bread and things like that now, but this seeks to add just a whole lot of more foods to make things a bit more exciting. So without further ado, I will show you what they all are. So the first one we have here is pumpkin soup, and so you take one bowl and one pumpkin and you put them together and you make pumpkin soup. So okay, so now that I've crafted that pumpkin soup, I guess you want to know what it can do. Well, I can't actually eat it while I'm in creative mode, but what I will tell you is that the pumpkin soup heals 2.5 hearts. So that's not too bad. It kind of gives you a way to use up all those pumpkins that you can farm when you're not making jack-o'-lanterns and snow golems and things. So the next thing that you can make is you take a bowl, you take two different flowers and you take a seed, and it allows you to, I hope this is a shapeless recipe, yes it is, it allows you to make a salad. And a salad is not quite as good as pumpkin soup. It only heals 1.5, but it gives you a use for all those flowers and other kinds of things like that. And certainly in the new Minecraft snapshot it looks like there might be more ways to kind of get flowers, and they're adding a whole lot of new things, so I think this will be pretty good. Now the next thing, well, it's an egg, but it's a fried egg. So you take your egg and you throw your egg in here, and I guess normally all you can do with eggs is throw them and get chickens, or hope you get a chicken. This actually gives you something you can do with all those extra eggs. You get a fried egg. Ooh, you actually get some experience of smelting it as well. And what a fried egg gives you is you can eat it by itself and it gives you 1.5 hearts. Now the next thing is there are two kinds of fruit salad. I've got three lots of ingredients here because I'm not exactly sure which ones I have to put together for the second one, but we'll start off with the first one. So you take a bowl, a piece of melon and an apple, and that makes you a fruit salad. Now a fruit salad heals 3.5 hearts, so I guess one thing this mod does is it keeps everything in balance. I mean, if you were to eat that slice of melon and then the apple by itself, that would give you 3.5 hearts. This just makes things, I guess, more interesting. So the next thing you can do is you get your bowl, a golden apple and a glistering melon. It looks like I've got the wrong kind of golden apple, that's why I got all of them. That gives you, so this is the basic kind that you make with the gold nuggets. This is the gold block one, so it's the basic golden apple, and that gives you a magic fruit salad. And where the fruit salad heals you 3.5, the magic fruit salad heals you 5, but it also gives you regen for 10 seconds like you had just eaten a golden apple. So that's pretty neat. So now the next thing, I think I just did fruit salads. So the next one are seed mixes. So there are a couple of different mixes that you can do. Just going to get all these out of my inventory so they're out of the way. So there is one that's made up of seeds, pumpkin seeds and melon seeds. This one here is made up of just 6 wheat seeds in a bowl, and basically when you put them into a crafting table you get crazy thing not going where I want it to. Okay, let's try this. There you go. You get a bowl of oatmeal, and a bowl of oatmeal heals up 2 hearts. So once you get a good farm going, you normally end up with just a massive surplus of seeds that you can't really do anything with. So this gives you something that you can now do with those. And just before it gets too dark, I know I'm on creative, I don't want mob spawning and getting in the way. So the next thing you can do is you can put one of each kind of seed together and put a bowl underneath, and you get what's called a trail mix. And a trail mix also heals 2, but you obviously need a lot less seeds because you're using some of the seeds that are a little bit rarer. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is if you now put the seeds into a furnace, you can actually roast the seeds. Now it gives you one kind of seed out, it doesn't give you like roast pumpkin seeds, it just gives you roast seeds. So you can see roasted seeds, and you can do it with any kind of seed that you have. Now these don't heal very much at all, they only heal a half, and you know, if you were to mix the 3 of them together you would get 2. So mixing the 3 of them together with a wooden bowl is slightly better off, but I guess this is kind of useful if you don't actually have enough seeds to be able to, because you don't need one of each kind of seed. So that's a good use again for your seeds. So if you don't want to make oatmeal, you can now make I guess roast seeds and take them with you, and roast seeds do stack, whereas I'm pretty sure if I grab like 2 salads, you can see that salads don't stack, and I don't think fruit salads stack either. No, none. So basically nothing that's in a bowl stacks, so that's why that can be pretty useful. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a whole lot of sugar, 5 pieces in fact, and this is another use for sugar apart from making potions. You can make a sugar cube, and so if you eat the sugar cube by itself, it heals you 1 heart. But what you can do with that sugar cube is you can come over here and you can throw it in the furnace and it will cook up. And you might wonder, what will it cook up? Well, here's one I prepared earlier. It will give you a piece of caramel, just like that. And a piece of caramel by itself will heal 2 hearts. But if you take a piece of caramel, an apple and a stick, and run down here to my crafting table at the end, you make what I think is possibly the coolest thing to be added to Minecraft in just such a long time. You get to make, in Australia we call them toffee apples, but caramel apples, it's the same kind of thing, and they heal 4.5 hearts. Now, once again, not a stackable food, but that's still a pretty good use of your food. So to save myself running backwards and forwards now, I'm going to put a crafting table down here at the end. I accidentally made the gap here even, so I needed to have 2 crafting tables there. That was off center. Just for people who have a little OCD. So what we're going to make now is jelly. So you can see there I grabbed some slime, some sugar and a bowl, and when you put the 3 of them together you get jelly. I think slime is so rare that it's probably not going to be all that useful to you, but if you could eat it, I can't actually eat it at the moment, it actually gives you the power to jump a lot higher than normal. Actually, what I might do is put myself back into survival. Whoa. And I might just, jump around and wait around for a while, and then hopefully I'll be able to actually use this and demonstrate for you in the near future what it's like. So while I'm waiting for that jelly to actually work, the next thing you can make is you can now make milk. So what you do is you come to your crafting table and put a bucket of milk above a bowl. It gives you the milk and gives you your empty bucket back. So milk by itself cures poison like normal, but now it also heals half a heart, and it gives you a very slight speed boost. It doesn't actually say how long. I think it's 5 seconds that it gives you the speed boost for. I'm going to try and demonstrate that as well. But you can also now take that bowl of milk, you can't use a bucket, it's got to be a bowl, and you can put it in the oven and cook it up, and you get back out a piece of cheese. Now cheese I think does stack, except I've now turned creative off. I'm pretty sure that cheese stacks, so let's just come in here and check that out. Yes, cheese does stack. So while milk doesn't stack, cheese does. So cheese also cures poison, so that gives you a way, if you're going to planning on fighting lots of spiders, to go down there and kind of fight them without having to take 1,000 buckets with you. Now it doesn't, from the looks of things, it doesn't look like it actually heals any food, but what it does do is it still cures poison, and it's supposed to still give you the opportunity to be able to run a little bit faster. So that brings me to the last things on this side. I'll whack that in there for a second while I'm making this up. So what you do is you take your milk and you take a cocoa bean, and it makes you basically, well, cocoa or chocolate milk or whatever you want to call it, and then you can throw that here into the furnace and you get a chocolate candy. And the cocoa itself heals 3.5 little chicken bones, or the chocolate itself, once it's cooked, heals 4.5. That's as opposed to what you would get with the normal milk, which is it only heals a half. So it's obviously quite beneficial to do that. So moving back down the end here, we come to the next one, which is marshmallow. So you put your bucket of water in the center. You can see that again the recipe gives you your bucket back, and it gives you a raw marshmallow. Now that raw marshmallow is good for half a heart, which doesn't sound like very much, but you can throw it in here and cook it up. So there's your raw marshmallow. Throw it in, cook it up, and what you end up with at the end is, sure enough, it's the same kind of marshmallow, just slightly darker looking so that you can tell that it's cooked. Now by cooking it, it makes it up to 1.5 hearts. So cooking for just about everything seems to add around about a heart to it, which I think is pretty reasonable. So the next thing we can make now is a bowl, a snowball, and a bit of sugar. You can make a bowl of ice cream. I mean, that to me would seem a little bit more like shaved snow than ice cream, and that I believe heals 1 heart. So not a really useful food, but no one ever claimed that ice cream was a really useful food. The next thing you can make is biscuits. So you put 2 pieces of wheat together and you get 3 biscuits out. I think you can do this. Yeah, you can do this in your own personal crafting table without actually needing to go and go to a crafting table. So just if you had 2 pieces of wheat in your hand, you could do this. Now each one of them heals 1.5, so you're actually losing out compared with making bread, but I don't know, I don't think they're too bad. I think it's nice to be able to take some biscuits, although I think the person needs to learn to spell a little bit. I just spelled it exactly how they did, biscuit, unless of course that's like a French way of spelling it or something that's a bit fancier. So the next one is bread and sandwiches. Before I do that, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to demonstrate a new mob drop that's been added. So that was just a piece of wool. Not what I was looking for. Okay, there you go. You can see that I killed that sheep and he dropped a piece of mutton. And so we can take that piece of mutton now and throw it in here and cook it up. And once you cook it up, you will get cooked mutton. So a piece of mutton by itself, raw, gives you 1.5 hearts. A piece of cooked mutton gives you 3.5 hearts. So kind of adds an extra drop for sheeps, but at the same time it's kind of been balanced by making it something that gives you less chicken bones back than you would get from doing like a pig or a cow or something that was already in Minecraft. Which takes me to the next thing, which is a potential use for that. So I'm not going to demonstrate the crafting of all of these. I'm just going to basically show you what they are. So if you take a piece of bread now and you put that piece of bread in your little crafting table, you get 5 slices of bread out. So each slice of bread gives you half a heart. So that's basically 5 lots of half is 2.5, which is how many you would normally get back from a bread. So it's not a win doing it that way, but it allows you now to make these cool items. So 1 bread slice on the top, 1 bread slice on the bottom, and you put your filling in the middle and you end up with a sandwich. So the first sandwich we have is a pork chop sandwich, which heals 5.5. A steak sandwich also heals 5.5. A chicken sandwich is 4.5. All of the food has to be cooked. You can't use the raw food to make these sandwiches, which is just pretty normal. You wouldn't want to put a raw egg on a slice of bread and call it a sandwich. So the next one was a fish sandwich, which heals 4. You've got the egg sandwich, which heals 3, and the mutton sandwich, which heals 5. So I will demonstrate just one of them. Let's just go for the egg sandwich. So you chuck it in the middle, 2 slices, top and bottom, and you get an egg sandwich. Now I'll go back to creative just for a second, just to show you what they look like. You can see that they are slightly different coloured fillings in the sandwiches, but otherwise they look pretty much the same. So they're a little bit hard to tell apart, but the tooltips have got them named pretty well so that you can really see what they are. So this one here I will get back to in a second. Before I do that, they've added a new block. The block doesn't really serve a purpose, but what it does allow you to do is create some new decorations. Like if you have a bit of a farm, you can put a whole lot of wheat together and make a hay bale. I'm not sure if it's something that I would use. It's not a decoration that I find particularly appealing, but what you can do is now break it and it gives you all of your wheat back. So you could use it as a wheat storage if you wanted somewhere to store lots and lots and lots of wheat. So lastly, and let's just set the time back to day again. For the very last thing, I'm just going to quickly dump everything I have in my inventory. except for like the milk and jelly and stuff. And I will grab all of these and run down to the crafting table so everybody knows how to make a normal cake. What this does is it adds a couple of different kinds of cakes. The first kind of cake that it adds is an apple cake. So it was made using 3 pieces of apple in the center instead of the normal cake ingredient. Now the next kind of cake that we have is called a magic, nope, jumping ahead of myself, it's a chocolate cake. So you put cocoa beans in the center and that gives you a chocolate cake. The last kind of cake you have is called a magic cake. And as you can tell, it's magical. Now I just wanted to check once again if you can make it with the other kinds of golden apples. Nope. Just works with the, I guess, the regular cheap kind of golden apples. Now these are just like normal cakes. What I will do is once again put myself back into creative. Nope, that didn't change my game mode at all. There we go. I can grab the normal cake out and I'll put them all down and you can compare them to each other. So that's your normal cake, that is your pink tinged apple cake, that is your nice brown chocolate cake, and then if we go to my inventory we can see it there, we have our magic cake. Now I was hoping to be able to eat a slice off each cake to demonstrate how they work and how they look, but unfortunately I'm still no chicken bones down, so I can't actually show that to you. But basically they have like a cool sort of different colored slice to them. So an apple cake will heal you 1.5 hearts per slice, a chocolate cake will heal you 2. Now a magic cake doesn't give you the power of regeneration, but it does heal you 4 health per slice. So that's a really good food source if you're into the whole cake thing. I've never really thought that non-portable food in Minecraft is very good. I've always thought it's a little bit silly, but for those of you who do like cakes, you now have a huge amount of variety. You can't stack them one on top of each other, but you might be able to. Just wondering if you can make like tiered cakes. You might be able to if you can put 2 blocks of dirt, whack one on top of the other or something on the side. Yeah. So it's not exactly tiered cakes, but it's kinda, with a little bit of a gap in the middle. Anyway, it's a magic cake. Magic cakes are allowed to float. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this mod Spotlight a little bit. I would really suggest checking this mod out. I think without unbalancing the game, this really adds a whole lot of new varieties of food, and I think it really helps to mix up the, I guess, the boring side of the survival aspect of Minecraft. For those of you who aren't into building really big things and who like surviving, I think this adds something really good. So once again, this is called the Useful Food mod. It's version 1.1 at the moment for Minecraft 1.32. It requires the recommended builder Forge, which is version 4 at the moment, and it's made by Silent Spy. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video. A Stocky out.